Hey folks, I feel like the holidays are made for watching reruns. So I threw together some of my favorite old videos and put them into a 4-part series. You're going to see some of my very early bushcraft videos that are fairly roughly edited all the way through some of my more current van camping. I think you'll enjoy the evolution for those people that are fairly new to the channel, and for those guys that have been following for a long time, you'll find some little bit of nostalgia in watching some of the old content. I hope you're all having a great holidays. Enjoy the videos, and we'll see you in the next year.
Shut up and sit down.
We've been hit with a pretty decent snowstorm, at least for us here in Central Oregon, and the weather had been staying fairly cold, getting well below freezing most nights. So I had every intention to just hang out at home. But after watching a couple outdoor videos, I found myself getting really restless, and before I knew it, I was in my truck heading for the mountains. Once I found a place to camp, I drove back and forth a few times to pack the snow, just to make sure getting out of there in the morning wouldn't be too much of a problem. Many of you were familiar with the CVT Mount Thielsen tent that I had on the truck, but a few weeks back I decided to upgrade to the Mount Shasta. Mainly because it had a bit more usable space, it packs up smaller, and the overhang makes a great place to cook when the weather is bad. The downside is, the tent takes a couple extra minutes to set up compared to the Thielsen, but the benefits are well worth it in my opinion. Alright, so I got this little Mr. Heater here, and I've been using it the last few weekends in my tent, and it really works nice at keeping the tent nice and warm. As far as I'll kick it on a little bit just before I get in the tent, just to warm the tent up. And then I always turn it off to go to sleep. And then just a few minutes before I decide I want to wake up in the morning, I'll kick it on. I never have to run it above low. Low is more than enough heat to make it toasty warm. You can sit in the tent in your underwear if you want. The heater really is nice on these cold nights. As you can see, the dogs really seem to enjoy it. My plan was just to relax and read a good book. My last couple of trips I've been reading a book by William Collins called Wilderness Challenge. It's the perfect book to get you excited about spending time outdoors. Throughout the night, I could hear freezing rain pelting the tent and the wind blowing in the treetops. But by morning, the skies started to clear. I intended on making a good breakfast in my cast iron skillet, so I cut some firewood and got busy making a fire. Everything was saturated wet, but a chunk of fat wood I found in an old nearby stump did the trick. Well, I haven't done much talking in this video, mainly because of the fact that you probably can hear it's super windy out here, and I just didn't think that the audio would come out super great, but I almost didn't come out tonight. I was gonna stay home last night. It was really kind of a last minute decision, and I hemmed and hawed over it for a while because we'd had this big snowstorm. But I have to tell you what, I am super glad that I came out. This is nice. It's a nicer morning than I expected. I do think it's going to turn on me here shortly, but as far as things go, it's pretty nice out here right now. I'm just going to finish getting this breakfast going. I've got my potatoes cooking in the bacon oil bacon grease right now. I've got a bag of pre-cut vegetables and some eggs. So once my potatoes are all done and cooked, or close to being cooked, we'll add the rest of the ingredients and have some breakfast. Tell you what, I did good on this. This tastes really good. Potatoes, bacon, eggs, onions, serrano peppers, and some mushrooms. A little bit of seasoning, pepper. Definitely good. Definitely hitting the spot out here. This was just a short overnight trip, but it sure beat sitting at home. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and of course I always enjoy comments. And I'll see you all again outside. Alright, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and we got a little bit of snow here in Central Oregon, and so I'm going to head up into the mountains, try to get into a creek that I know about, and shoot some long exposure photography. I'm hoping that it's not too much snow that I can't get in there, but I'm hoping it's enough snow that it will give me the scene that I'm looking for. All right, so we've made it up to the Cabot Lake trailhead, which is not my original plan at all. I was gonna camp much lower than this and do some long exposure photography, but with it being as overcast as it is, you can see it's pretty much just socked in everywhere. It wasn't really gonna give me an opportunity to try out a new filter that I wanted to try, so I decided that since the snow wasn't too horribly bad, that I'd try to come up to one of the higher lakes, and then tomorrow we'll hike in. This is the trailhead here. You can see the trailhead signs, but it's 2-mile hike into one of the lakes, and I figured I'd just tomorrow would go in and try to do some photography on one of the lakes and then get a nice wintry scene. But as it is right now, I think I'm just gonna spend the rest of the afternoon just trying to get my camp set up and make sure I got plenty of firewood for the night and just basically relax. It's already a little after 2 o'clock and it's been getting dark by about 4, so I really just don't see myself having enough time to really kind of get everything situated for the evening and also get hiked 2 miles. So we'll just, like I said, we'll just leave that for tomorrow. I stopped and got some eggs for breakfast tomorrow, and I put in my egg carrier, but I kept an egg carton because I knew that this would make an easy way to get my fire started. All right, so we're kind of settled in here for the evening finally. You know, by coming up here a little higher and getting into this deeper snow, there was a little bit more work involved in kind of getting a camp set up than I had originally planned for the day, and I kind of got a late start anyhow. And I'm kind of glad that I've decided, you know, to kind of change up what I had planned to do, and that I'm going to hike into the lake tomorrow, because I was feeling a little bit pressured today to try to get up to a spot, get camp set up, get it filmed, and try to get a shot all today. But by doing it this way, you know, it kind of took a lot of pressure off. I was able just to kind of take my time, get all the wood I needed, you know, clear the snow out around the camp, and just, you know, make myself, you know, as comfortable as I can be up here, which is, you know, I'm in pretty good shape. You know, I've got a lot of firewood, and then, you know, I've got the tent set up with the little propane heater, so, you know, I think we're good. And as far as the dogs are concerned, you know, I've just been leaving the door open on the truck so that way, you know, they can kind of get out if they want and wander around, but if they want to, they can just jump back in the truck and lay in the seat and not have to lay in the snow. But anyhow, at this point, I'm kind of thinking it's time to eat, and not making anything special, so I'm not going to record it as a special video, but we're just going to do kind of a hodgepodge. I've got, you know, a big old can of Denny Moore, and then I'm probably going to cut up some sausages And I haven't decided yet. It kind of depends on how full my bush pot gets, but I might even add some of this Uncle Ben's rice just to make a good, solid, big, you know, stick to your gut meal for the night. Okay, so we're finally starting to get ready for bed. Daisy is there, she's all conked out, and so is Wheeler. He's down there at the end, he's all conked out as well. It's nice and cozy inside the tent here. We've got the Mr. Heater going, and I got the accessory hose for the Mr. Heater, so I don't have to use the little green bottles anymore. I can now actually connect the tank, and that hose is actually a product from Mr. Heater that you can get. It comes with the hose, and I don't know if you can probably see very easily, but it also comes with a filter to make sure that you don't get debris or from get debris from running a regular propane tank into your Mr. Heater. So that's working out really well, and I'm really excited about that, because mainly one is it costs a whole lot less to fill that whole tank, which holds probably 3 times the amount of propane as one of those green bottles. It cost me about maybe $2 to $3 to fill it up, versus $4 to $5 to buy one of those tanks. And I was going through probably 2 to 3 or 1 to 2 of those tanks, the old Coleman tanks, a weekend. So even though this setup was a little bit spendy, I think it was like $50 for the propane tank and about $20 or $30 I think for the hose. So you're looking at about $80, but considering the fact as often as I go out and spending about $10 a weekend versus now I'll be spending, $2 to $3 a weekend, I'm pretty sure that I'll probably pay that off by the end of this winter. So, and I'm not, filling up the landfill with those little green tanks. Now I know there is this little adapter thing that you can get for the green tanks so that you can refill them, but my neighbor has that and I've seen it done. Looks like a total pain in the butt to me. This is a way easier. I just show up at a regular propane filling station, they top it off, and I come out here, and it's just a great setup. Plus, I like the fact that if I need to, I could run this heater all night now with that tank, instead of having to get up in the night and switch tanks if I needed to run the heater if it was really cold. But anyhow, like I said, we're getting ready for bed, so we'll catch you guys in the morning. All right, good morning. So we're just kind of getting around here now. Got kind of get my coffee going somewhere here. There we go. Yeah, there's my coffee. So we're kind of getting around for this morning. Now it's starting to snow a little bit, which has got me just a tiny bit concerned, considering the fact that we were probably fairly close to the limit of the amount of snow that my particular truck could handle getting in here yesterday. So if it snows much more, I could find myself in a tiny bit of a pickle. Being the fact that tomorrow is Christmas, it would be cool to obviously, spend time in a beautiful place like this and have a white Christmas, but I do have plans with my family. So I am trying to decide right now whether or not I'm going to hang out and still hike into the lake, try to get some photos, or if I am going to pack up and get out while the getting is good. So we're going to try to figure that out. I think I've decided to go ahead and bail out of here. It's just been snowing ever since I've gotten up. I've already got the tent put away, and I've just kind of been sitting here for a minute underneath the awning and enjoying the fire I have and my coffee. And I'm not in a super hurry, but at the same time, I don't feel like it'd be a good idea for me to spend, 3 to 4 hours hiking up to that lake, shooting the lake, and then coming back. Because I think we'd have a lot more snow by the end of that, and then I could be finding myself in a little bit of a predicament at that point. But anyhow, so no image this weekend. Just the way it goes sometimes, but still a really fun camp out, and it's still, like I said, it's really beautiful, and I'm really just, like I said, just sitting here and enjoying the snow and all the snow on the trees, and it's just like really nice. So I'll hang out here for a little, a few more minutes before I pack it up completely and head out. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a video, and we'll catch you guys again outside. This is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and I have been sick all week. I'm finally starting to feel a bit better, so I thought I'd sneak out for a little one-night adventure. I ran into a guy on the way up here, and he warned me about this corner. Apparently he had got stuck here last night, and they had just got his rig out today. I went out and I walked it a little bit and checked it out and thought maybe I could go up on the high side, but once I started kind of going up in there, I found that the snow was just a little bit deeper than I thought, and the truck was starting to spin pretty bad. Plus the snow is really wet. If the snow was cold and fresh, it wouldn't be that bad. Even though it's only about, I'd say 10 to 12 inches deep, with it being this wet, it's just real heavy and really slick underneath. It just basically turns to ice underneath. So I got up there and it didn't seem want to go, and then as I was starting to back out, it started to throw me sideways a little bit, and I thought, let's just not even mess with this. Let's just get out of this spot and we'll go a little bit lower, find a place to camp down there. It's just not worth getting stuck up here. All right, so you guys know that I was kind of complaining about the hose setup that I had on my little propane cylinder last weekend. So what I decided to do was get a splitter and a longer hose, and then just use one of my bigger RV propane tanks outside. With the splitter, this will give me the opportunity to also have my little Coleman stove out here and be able to run off this tank. I think this will just make a whole lot more sense than having that smaller tank, which was working fine and it's still a good setup. But I got to thinking that if I was going longer term, that tank wouldn't last me but more than maybe a couple of nights, whereas I can run off this tank and be able to run both my propane appliances for quite some time. All right, so we've come down to this creek that we're camped next to, and I've set the camera up and I've got a composition that I'm really liking. Now, I've tried a couple different compositions. I tried one where I was in the creek itself, kind of shooting straight at it, but I just didn't like the way the creek flowed through the photograph. So what I did is I just moved over a little bit onto this far bank, and now the creek is flowing from the bottom right, and it comes across the image over to the left, into like the left third, and then starts to flow back to the center, and I just think it really draws the eye nicely through the image. And there's two deciduous bunches of trees on each side that are kind of just a little off center, but kind of help lead you right up through the creek in the photograph. And to me, it just looks nice, and I like the way it's coming out. But I want the creek to have that kind of blurred, dreamy look that you see a lot of times when you're seeing waterfall pictures or that. So what I've done is added my Nisi filter system, and I put my 5-stop ND filter in there, and that put me down to an 8-second exposure, so that way I could get that really nice blurred water. But I do have a little bit of sky in this picture as well, and the sky is obviously brighter than the creek area down below, so I added my 3-stop graduated soft grad filter as well, so that way I could bring that exposure down in the sky a little bit more and be able to keep the exposure on the creek and everything where I need it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this shot. Now again, I'm gonna use the Nikon focus shift shooting feature in the camera, because I want everything to be in focus from as close as we can see all the way out as far as we can see. it's turning out to be a really nice morning. It's still fairly cloudy, but the sun's been kind of making an appearance here and there, and temperature wise, not bad at all, things considering, which is nice because, like I said, I'd been sick all last week and kind of cooped up in the house, so it was really nice to kind of get out here and just have an opportunity to spend some time outdoors. Plus, it gave me the opportunity to try out the new propane adapters and stuff like that, and so far I'm really happy with that, and I think that's going to be a lot better solution for me moving forward. But I am going to start packing up now and start looking on heading out. I think I will spend some more time up here off camera today and just maybe poke around and shoot a little bit more landscape photography. Anyhow, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please leave a like and a comment. It really does help the channel, and it really does motivate me to want to continue to create more content like this. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys again outside. Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we're heading back up into the mountains because over the last couple days here since Thanksgiving, we've gotten some more snow in the mountains. I tried to make an attempt at it yesterday. I went up in the mountains, I got in the snow, but it was just pouring rain and miserable, and the snow was melting, and it was getting to be a really sloppy mess. So I went ahead and back off to the east side of the mountains here in Oregon, regrouped, and now we're going to retry it again today because we have a gorgeous day. The sun's out, it's crisp, it's cold. I think it'll be really great conditions to go if we can get up into some of the high mountain lakes still. Be really good conditions to shoot some really beautiful landscape photography. All right, so I think this is where we're gonna camp tonight. This is Island Lake, which we have been to before. Actually, about a month or 2 months ago, we camped up just down the road a little ways, right down on the lake. But I like this spot because it has a really great view, a 3-finger jack, and I think it's gonna be awesome for getting some nice landscape photography of the lake and the mountain in the background, especially if the weather stays beautiful like it is right now. All right, so I've got my camera all set up here. It's a little bit early in the day yet for the shot that I want. The test shots I've taken still look really nice, so I think it's gonna be a great shot, but I would like to see the sun get a little bit lower, but I'm not exactly sure as the sun goes down how it's gonna be hitting the lake, and I would like to still maintain some light on the lake because there are some beautiful reflections because it's a very still day. You know, we have the snow and then we have Three Finger Jack in the background. It's gonna be a beautiful photo, and I'm really excited about it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the camera here. I'm gonna continue kind of dinking around camp and getting a few things set up for this evening, but I'll be watching the light, and as it changes, I'll just kind of come over to the camera, take another shot, and then that way later I can kind of go through Lightroom and see which photo I like best, or the lighting situation that I like best. All right, so I've got myself a little differently set up here. Typically I'd be working off the back of the trailer with the little table, fold down table, and my drawer and everything. But I'm backed up in here underneath some trees, and the sun's been out, been beautiful today, but it's causing the snow to melt on the trees, and it's just kind of dripping right off that area. So to stand back there and cook or do anything, I'd just be getting dripped on the whole time. So I went ahead and set up my little table here, put my stove out here, and then that way I can sit underneath my awning. And even though it's getting dripped on here as well, the awning is obviously protecting me, and I'm not just gonna get dripped on the whole time. So this will probably be my bad weather setup. If it's raining or snowing, this will be probably how I'll set myself up. I may have to get a little bit bigger table because this one's just barely fitting my stove. But this should work for tonight. So this will be the setup. Yeah, I tell you what, this fire sure feels good. It's gotten dark and definitely cooled off on us a little bit. I don't have a clue what the temperature is, but I noticed that things aren't dripping quite as much as they used to be earlier in the day. But the dogs are all settled up in the tent at this point. They're sacked out up there. I'm gonna warm up just for a minute here more, and then I'm gonna start cooking up something in the cast iron skillet and see if I can't get something warm in my belly. All right, well, it's starting to get light out there. I think I'm gonna hop out and try to shoot that photo again one more time off camera. It is fairly chilly this morning. Everything's frozen up pretty good. But we slept well last night, having this Mr. Buddy, or Mr. Heater Buddy in here really makes all the difference when it comes to just being comfortable on these cold winter trips. Or, I mean, technically it's still fall, but when you're out in the snow like this and it's cold, it just, you know, I only have to run it on low and it just keeps me warm and comfortable all night, keeps the dogs comfortable, and it's a very handy thing. The one thing I recommend to people if they're going to go this route is to get an accessory hose and go out to a larger tank, but make sure that you get the filter that you need, because when you're running a regular tank, contaminants and stuff can get in the heater. So make sure that you have the filter on there. But you know, if you want to be warm and comfortable on a winter camping trip, and the Mr. Heater is a great way to go. Oh man, I tell you what an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous morning. The sun is out, the sky is nice and clear. It's actually warming up quite a bit. The snow's starting to melt again and drip off the trees, but man, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous out here. I did take another shot of the mountain this morning. I might have been a little bit, by the time I got done trying to get some film and get dressed and everything, I might have been a little late getting out, but there was just this gorgeous pink hue on the mountain this morning as the sun first rose. But anyhow, you know, I do have to get out of here today. I've got another obligation to shoot some photography this afternoon, so I do have to leave. But man, what a great couple days here. Just absolutely beautiful. Cold, crisp weather in the evening and the morning, but you know, beautiful sunny day in the day. So yeah, you just can't beat it. This is what it's all about right here. I mean, just being able to get out and just take advantage when you get great weather with a little snow like this. Is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I think I've said gorgeous probably too many times, but what the heck, it is gorgeous. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up, or just give it a like, because like and thumbs up is exactly the same thing. So, but if you're not subscribed to my channel and you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and check out some of the other videos, and I'll catch you guys again outside. So we've tried quite a bit here to see if we can get through this drift and around this little bit of a switchback, but it's just not happening. All right, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and we are getting a little bit of snow even in the lowlands here in Central Oregon. So what I thought I'd do is head up into the mountains and see if we can't get up along one of the rivers or even high lakes up there in the mountains. Now the old Ford, she's not a super capable snow vehicle. It's a little heavy. She doesn't have huge big tires or anything like that. So there's only so far we really can go. But if we can get up there, I think it can make for some great photography, some really nice fresh snow. Plus, it's really kind of foggy and just wintry and gray. And sometimes I have a tough time trying to find or getting inspired to shoot photography in this type of weather. But I think that today, with the snow and everything, I think it really could make for some really interesting photos. So let's get going and see where we can get. Alright, so as you guys can see, we're stuck. We're inside, we're coming up the road, everything was going pretty good except for there's some really tight switchbacks, and we got into one of these switchbacks and we just lost traction, and now we're kind of stuck. So got the trusty shovel out. We're gonna dig out, spend some time digging out around the tires and see if we can get moving again. I've already aired the tires down to about 20 pounds of pressure, which has made travel fairly easy. It's just, like I said, these switchbacks are killing me. So we've tried quite a bit here to see if we can get through this drift and around this little bit of a switchback, but it's just not happening. And it's starting to get late. We're about 4:30. I know it's going to be dark here in probably the next 45 minutes at the most. It might stay lighter just a little bit longer just because of the snow, but at this point I've disconnected the trailer. We're going to try to see if we can just get the truck turned around, which is going to be a challenge in itself. And if we can get the truck turned around, we're just going to turn around and head back down, because There's a lake up ahead. That's what I've been trying to get to, but it's not looking like we're gonna make it. I feel like we're really close, but it's just last little bit looks like it's just gonna not make it happen. So anyhow, like I said, let's see if we can get this truck turned around and then go from there. All right, well, I have to be honest, that went a whole lot smoother than I thought it was going to. I really wasn't sure I was gonna be able to get the truck turned around. But as you can see, I got the trailer turned around, which gave me a little bit of space. I was able to get it gave me a little space to back up, and then I was able to get a run and get up a little ways further with the truck before I got stuck again with the truck past the camera. But it gave me enough room to where I was able to back down the other side and get past the trailer, and then I just was able to get down the hill a little ways, flip around, and get back up to the trailer and hook back up. So we're all hooked back up. Our light is almost gone. At this point, I don't think I'll have any issues getting back down because I got a track to follow. So I'm just gonna get down. I'm gonna just set up a camp tonight. I probably won't even film anymore tonight. I'll just catch up with you guys in the morning. Oh, all right, well, I know I said I wasn't gonna bring you guys back on until the morning, but I got myself back down off the mountain, found myself a good place to camp and got settled in. Camp's all set up, tent and trailer, everything set up. Got a nice fire out in front of me, and I decided I'd just go ahead and keep filming. So, but yeah, it was a little frustrating not being able to get up to the lake that I wanted to get up to. It was Jack Lake that I was trying to get to, for those that are familiar with the area. But I came around that corner, and you know, I was digging away, and it became pretty obvious to me that the snow was just too deep for the Ford. I just don't have the clearance. I don't have the big enough tires. The Ford's pretty heavy, and then you throw the fact that I was toting this trailer behind me, and it was probably no go. What I probably should have done is just camped here in the first place. I should have just set up camp in this location in the first place, unhooked, and then tried to go up with just the Ford by itself. And possibly, but I don't know. I mean, it was pretty deep snow. It was pretty deep snow. I don't think I'd even have made it without the trailer, but in the end, it was a good adventure, and no harm, no foul. We were able to get turned around, get the trailer hooked back up, get back down here, and we've got, like I said, we've got a good camp set up now, and I'm enjoying myself. So I am getting hungry. I'm pretty good and tired from all the snow shoveling I did up there. So I'm gonna try to get something to eat. I've got a little Pendleton, and we're just gonna relax and enjoy this fire for the rest of the evening. And we'll catch you guys in the morning. All right, well, we're starting to get up, and it's still a little bit dark. It's still very foggy, very overcast, so there's not going to be much chance of a sunrise this morning. So I think I'm just going to go ahead, get up, make some coffee, kind of putz around camp, maybe get the fire going again, and then we can go kind of wander around the creek and see if we can find some fun images. Like I said, it's going to be probably foggy and overcast all day, so we're going to be dealing with very flat lighting. So we should be able to pretty much shoot all day long. It's just going to be a matter of trying to get creative with the shots a little bit. So anyhow, I think yeah, coffee sounds good right about now. All right, well, we got coffee and we got some breakfast made. I think what I'm gonna do is get this eaten, and then I'm gonna go ahead and load up some camera gear into a backpack, and I think we'll grab the dogs and we'll go for a hike along this creek and see if we can't find a few image opportunities. The sun is trying to make an attempt at peeking through the clouds. I don't know if it will do it or if it's just going to be spotty, but with the little bit of cloud cover that we're having, I think we could end up with some really nice lighting situations. So hopefully we can come up with some good images. So I'm going to go ahead and get this eaten, and we'll get out there and see what we can find. All right, well, dogs and I are back at camp. Like I said, it was a good walk. Didn't really find too much in the way of photography that super thrilled me, but still enjoyed myself, and it was just nice being out and being able to run around with the dogs a little bit. But anyhow, I think I'm going to go ahead and start packing up this camp. You know, as far as trips go, this one didn't necessarily go very well. I didn't get where I wanted to go, and got stuck yesterday and spent most of the day trying to dig the truck and trying to get it going somewhere, and then, you know, basically just not been able to make it happen and then having to back down. But I did end up in a good spot, and I did end up with a nice camp, and I did enjoy my walk this morning. So, you know, still a win, and hopefully, you know, maybe next trip I can, you know, find some better options in the way of photography. But I always just like getting out, you know. For me, it's just a matter of getting out. If I get a good photo or I get some photos, that's just bonus. But for the most part, it's about getting out and exploring and checking places out and just having a good time. So, and then with that, I'd say mission accomplished. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you enjoyed this video and you want to check out some more of my content, please do subscribe, and I'll catch you guys again outside. Alright, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we're out driving around up in the mountains again, and we got a little bit of snow happening, but it's not too deep at the moment. But you see, we've hiked our way back into an old forest lookout. Now, from what I understand, you can rent these forest lookouts and stay in them when they're not in use during the summer. Nobody seems to be here right now, and it doesn't look like anyone's been here for a little bit because there's really no tracks in the snow. But as you can see, it's completely socked in, so there's not much of a view today. But it's still pretty cool, and I'm going to explore around, take a few pictures, and then we'll hike back up and go find a place to set up camp. All right, well, we're in the tent. You know, the last time we chatted, we were up there at the lookout there, but it started snowing pretty good, and I started to beat feet off the mountain, and I got myself a little bit lower, and then by the time I got myself into a spot, it got dark. But it's been snowing non-stop since I talked to you guys last, and I decided that this evening, instead of, you know, fighting and trying to get a fire going and sitting out there in the snow and everything, that I was just gonna hang out and relax with the dogs here inside the tent. So I've got myself a little beef stew mountain house, and I brought my pocket rocket in here, so we're gonna use it. I have boiled water over my little Mr. Heater before, but since I want to get to eating fairly quick, I'm going to go ahead and just use my pocket rocket so I can get food in me quick. But anyways, as it is right now, I'm just going to relax, hang out in the tent for the rest of the evening. I did bring my laptop up here, and I've got my little jackery that is going to I'll use to run my laptop, and I'll do a little bit of work and stuff like that, and then just hope that the snow subsides over the night, and that tomorrow we can go out and maybe shoot some photography, because where we came down to is the Metolius River, and so the Metolius is right outside here, and I think with brand new fresh snow in the morning and everything, it could be really nice to go for a walk and to shoot some photography. If it doesn't stop snowing, then it can just be a really miserable tear down and probably fight to get out of here, because it is snowing pretty good, and it's already probably dropped just since I've been here, just since I've opened the tent and everything. I just went out and brushed some snow off the Diamondback, and it's already probably dropped about 1.5 inches of snow just since we've showed up here and got the tent open. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully it doesn't snow too much more and we don't find ourselves kind of stuck in here. But at the same time, I think it could really be some nice, really nice for some photography in the morning if it does subside. So we're gonna hang out, we're gonna risk it, we're gonna see what happens, and we'll just take it from there in the morning. All right, well, we're up this morning and the snow has stopped, and it's really, really beautiful out right now. Everything with a fresh new layer of snow on it. We had a bunch of snow on the Diamondback, but that was really nice to just be able to go brush that off and be able to open it up and not have a pile of snow in the back of the truck like I used to. So that was great. But yeah, and even the sun's even kind of making some appearance. I'm even seeing some patches of blue sky here and there. So I think it's gonna be a half decent day. I wasn't that sure if it was going to. When I first woke up, they gave us one more blast of snow, and I thought we were in for a pretty miserable morning. But as it is right now, it's looking pretty good. So we're just gonna make coffee. I'm probably gonna make a little bit of breakfast, and I think we'll walk around, shoot a few photos. We've already shot in a couple already, because it was just really pretty as soon as I got up, so I just couldn't help but grab the camera and get a couple shots of the river, and I even took a drone shot of the up high. So, but I'm sure that there's still some stuff, and I think me and the dogs will go for a walk after we get the little breakfast going. All right, so I'm gonna start packing up some gear. I'm gonna go for a walk, grab the dogs and go for a walk. The sun is starting to kind of make a real presence now. We got some blue skies. It's really looking beautiful right now with the fresh snow and a little bit of the snow kind of falling off the trees and everything. It's really a beautiful wintry scene out here. So I know there's got to be some great opportunities for some beautiful photography. So I'm gonna grab the camera, grab a few pieces of gear, and we'll get out and see what we can find. All right, well, we're back from our hike and I'm in the process of getting the rooftop tent all packed up and put away. It was beautiful this morning. We got some sun breaks and the sun, and which I think made for some great opportunities to shoot some photography, and I'm hoping I got some shots that I'll be happy with. But I do want to get this rooftop tent put away before it snows or possibly could rain, because it does feel like it is warming up today a little bit. And I noticed that we have some darker clouds starting to move this direction. So anyways, yeah, so I want to get this thing packed up and put away. I am pretty happy with the way this morning went. As of last night, I was thinking that this video was going to be a complete dud because of the fact that I just thought the weather was just going to be too crappy that I wouldn't want to get out with my cameras and try to film with it. But yeah, really scored with a nice morning. And hopefully, like I said, got some decent photos out of it. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. If you're new to my channel and you're not subscribed to it, please do subscribe if you like this type of video. And I'll see you guys again outside. All right, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we're heading up into some mountains to do some winter camping. I want to try to get into some mountains that I don't usually try to get into during the winter because there's too much snow. But we've had a warm spell here the last few days. Went from lots of snow, even in the lowlands, getting snow down in even some of the lower lands, to jumping up into the temperatures up into the 60s. So I want to see if I can get back far enough into this one area and see if I can even find a place to camp. Now, there is a road that will get you back in there a little ways, and they plow it for a distance, but after that point they don't plow it anymore. But I do need to be able to get past that road to actually get to a place where you can camp and not just be stuck on the side of a plowed road. All right, so we got into the spot that I was hoping we'd get into. There's actually not that much snow here. I'm really surprised. Anyhow, we've got a nice spot to camp here. We're gonna be here for a couple days, so I'm gonna focus on getting the camp set up now. And as you can see, we're definitely losing light. So we're just gonna hammer through getting camp set up and trying to get a fire started and get settled in for the evening. All right, well, we're finally all settled in here for the night. We've got everything settled in. Dogs have been fed. They're up in the tent already, conked out up there, and we got a good fire going. And it's not really cold. Like I said, we've had some unseasonably warm weather here the last couple of days, and you know, it's not really that chilly of a night. And I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just really surprised about all the snow that's melted here. I don't know, I mean, like I said, it's kind of pleasant right now, but I think we'll be paying for it this summer, unfortunately. But anyhow, you know, like I said, I got a fire going, got a little Pendleton port. I'm gonna relax just for a minute, just because we just got done getting camp, you know, all settled in. So I'm just gonna take a couple minutes, just enjoy the fire, and then I'm gonna start in on some dinner, and then I think I'll just kind of enjoy the evening. And then my plan is to hopefully get up where we are having some really nice weather and try to see if we can't come up with a few nice photos in the morning with the sunrise and the lake and everything out here in front of us. So I don't want to be up real late. All right, so as you can see, we're just sitting out here on the dam, and we're overlooking the lake, and we've got this little building, this little structure that's coming off the dam here, and then in the background we have Mount Thielsen, then of course the lake, and the lake's got some nice ice on it and everything. So I've been kind of just shooting pretty much all through the blue hour here, and just kind of getting some different shots and kind of moving the camera around and getting some different angles and seeing what I like. But it's just a really beautiful morning. It's a little chilly, a little cold, but not too horribly bad, but it looks like it's really shaping up to be a really beautiful day.
We're gonna take a couple more shots here, and then we're gonna hop back in the truck and go up the lake a little bit and see if we can get to the river that feeds this lake and shoot some shots there and go for a little bit of a walk with the dogs. Oh man, I tell you what a beautiful morning it has actually turned out to be. You know, it was a little cold this morning when we were out on the dam as the sun first started to kind of peak up a little bit. You get that first early morning chill, but now that the sun's up high in the sky, it is really gorgeous and really warmed up. It feels a lot more like spring camping than it does winter camping. And like I said, this was supposed to be a winter camping trip, but man, it doesn't feel like winter at all right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, but me and the dogs, we've been hiking around here a little bit, and we've shot some photos and had a good walk. So I think what we'll do now that it's getting a little later in the morning is we'll head back to the truck, drive back to camp, and get some breakfast going. Okay, man, I tell you what, it really is just a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous day. I'm betting it's 50, at least in the, in the sun. And we're, the last couple days or so of January right now, 2019, and yeah, it definitely feels more like, late March or early May, or late March, early April. With the snow, bits of snow around and the sun out being beautiful, that definitely feels more like what late spring should be looking like up here in the mountains, not what January should looking like in the mountains. In fact, quite honestly, if we were having a good snow year, I probably wouldn't even be able to get here. Even if I put a lot of effort in with the Ford, I probably wouldn't even be able to get back in to where we're at right now. So it's hard to complain because it's just amazing right now. But we've had a couple dry years, and the mountains definitely could use a good snowpack this year. So like I said, it's hard to complain right now, but I feel like we're gonna be paying for it this summer for sure. But anyways, I am gonna go ahead and call the video right now. It's been a good evening. I'm not leaving. I'm gonna go ahead and hang out for the rest of the weekend. I've got a buddy that should be showing up here in the next half hour or so. So I just want to kind of wrap this up so that we can just hang out and have a good time without cameras pointing in our face. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it. You know, if you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other content and please do subscribe. If you're interested in supporting the channel in some way, please check out the link in the upper right hand corner and you can find a video that will explain different ways that you can support the channel. And we'll catch you guys again outside.
All right, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we're heading up to try for some more winter camping. Now this time I really think we are gonna get into some good winter camping. We've had a cold spell come through Oregon, and pretty much all of Oregon has gotten a blanket of snow in certain amounts. So I'm working my way through the Ochoco Mountains right now. I'm working my way through the pass and trying to get further east, and I'm going to a location that I went to about 2 years ago and shot some photography in the spring, and it was really beautiful. It was a big valley all greened up from spring, and it made for some great shots. But I think it could be equally awesome with a brand new layer of snow on it. It could really be some nice shots in there. Now my only concern is whether or not we'll be able to get up in there, because it is up in the mountains and there could be some challenges getting there. But I'm thinking that because we had that warm up a couple weeks ago, that a lot of the snow in the mountains did melt. So even though we've gotten this new snow, I don't think it will be too much that we can't get in there with the old Ford. All right guys, well this is a bit of a disappointment. As you can see, we got a gate here. I was not anticipating this. We actually have to get several more miles up this road to get to the location that I wanted to get to. So yeah, wasn't thinking about the fact that it could be closed for the winter and that we might not be able to get in here. So anyways, what I'm going to do is backtrack out of here. We're gonna get back to the main road, and we're gonna go to plan 2, which is see if we can get up to Strawberry Lake. It's probably another hour and a half or so drive from where we're at, but since we can't get up here, I think it's our next best option in order to kind of save this trip. All right, well, we had to stop and we went ahead and chained up. The snow that we're in isn't that deep. It's not like the time a couple videos back where I was stuck up in the snow in the mountains up there. That snow was too deep and I was pushing it with my bumper. This snow isn't really that deep. The problem is it's just a little bit wet and it's icy underneath. And that ice is just causing the truck to slide. So being the fact that we're not actually dragging or high centering on the snow, the chains are actually working. But you know, even here, like right now, I'm having to just barely crawl. They're wanting to spin, they're wanting to get me stuck, but this is where you have to have some good throttle control. We're in 4 low, and I'm letting the truck pretty much just run itself, and I give it just enough gas to keep it from stalling out. So, but we're getting along, and we'll just kind of see how far we can make it. If we can make it all the way in, that'll be great. Now, one thing I did do is I dropped the trailer at the bottom of the hill. I figured what I want to do first is see if I can actually get up to where I want to get to without the trailer. And if I can get there without the trailer, then I'll go back and see if we can grab the trailer and get the trailer up there once we've got a track laid in. But, you know, we got to try to get up there first without it. Alright guys, so I went as far as I could with the old Ford. We started to drag underneath pretty bad, and we got to a point that even with the chains on, we were just spinning and not going any further. We still got a couple miles to get to where I wanted to go, so I just don't see that there's going to be any chance of me getting there with the amount of snow. So I'm just going to head back, get the trailer, and try to find somewhere else to go. But Caden, Carson, and Cole came up behind me. They followed my tracks up. They came up behind me in their Ford, and they helped me get turned around, because as I was trying to get turned around, we got a little bit stuck, but they helped me get dug out and get turned around, and we're on track now. But Caden, he does some hunting and fishing, and he's got an Instagram, and he wanted to give it a plug. What's your Instagram?
Caden_Madden21.
Okay, it's Caden_Madden21, and I'll put it down below. You guys should be seeing a little graphic with that in there right now. But yeah, if you guys like following hunting and fishing and stuff, definitely give Caden a follow, and that'd be really cool. But anyhow, it's starting to get dark, as you guys are seeing, so I'm going to try to get out of here, go get the trailer hooked back up, and try to figure out what I'm going to do from there. All right guys, so we woke up this morning, and I just pulled into this place just trying to find anywhere to camp, and I woke up with the intention of just packing up and leaving. And when I got out of the tent, there was a mob of wild horses not too far. We're actually camped just over on the other side of the hill right over here, but I got out and noticed these horses. When I did come in last night, it did look like there was quite a bit of tracks, but I couldn't make them out in the dark what they were, just driving. But now it's pretty clear what they were. They got a bunch of wild Mustangs. I've ran into these guys before, and I don't know about this particular herd, but if you guys watch the video that's up in the upper right-hand corner right now, you can see where I've ran into these Mustang horses before up here in the Ochocos. It's always a pleasure to me to be able to get in with them. You know, I'm kind of got my distance from them right now. They're curious about me, but I'm not doing anything that's making them feel too concerned right now. So they're basically just digging through the snow, looking for some feed and trying to get somewhere to eat. And you can see, I've kind of videoed a couple pieces of B-roll where you can see where they've been kind of bedded down and just kind of looking for food and you know, trying to survive the winter, you know, in this new snow. So, but anyways, always a pleasure to be with these guys. I just love Mustangs. I just think they're the coolest horses. So anyhow, I'm gonna just try to get some more photos, see if they'll let me integrate a little bit more with the herd if I just kind of hang out and be quiet. I used to train horses you know, back in past life. So I have an idea of how to work my way around horses and get horses to be a little bit more comfortable around me. So I'm just going to kind of employ some of those techniques right now and just see if, like the last time I had a video, I had one of the horses just hang out within feet of me. So
we'll just kind of see how today goes. You do want to be careful with these guys because they are, they are feral horses, and if they feel threatened, they may attack. So don't be, if you don't know what you're doing, probably don't do what I'm doing right now. Anyhow, I'm gonna just hang out and see what we get going. Boy, I tell you what, that coffee tastes really good. We were out with the horses for a little while. The wind has been coming up. It's turned out that the spot that I found last night, like I said, we came in here in the dark. You're not really seeing where you're at. And I just basically kind of pulled into a spot that I could get into without worried about getting stuck, because there is obviously snow up here. But I am getting, the tent's kind of getting pounded by wind. We're just on the edge of a little meadow area, it looks like. But I did have a great time out with the Mustangs this morning. It's always a pleasure to get to find them and be able to spend some time. They are fairly prevalent up here in the Ochocos. If you do any amount of exploring up here, you're most likely going to see some. But to me, it's always a fun time. But yeah, this video has been kind of all over the board. And in a way, I felt like it was kind of a complete disaster, where we weren't able to get into the Murdoos Creek area that I wanted to get into because it was closed. And then I wasn't able to get up into the Strawberry Lake because of the too much snow. And so this morning I thought, well, this has just been a disaster. Let's just pack up and, work our way out of here. We're in a crappy spot. The wind's bad. We can't even really film outside because it's so windy. But then we wake up and then there's wild Mustangs out the back door, so in the end, I guess, even though you run in the challenges, you may face challenges trying to get out in the winter. You may also be blessed with some really great experiences. And if I wouldn't have taken the time, if I'd have just said, I'm not going to mess with trying to go in the mountains after all this snow, I would have never had the opportunity to see the Mustangs today. And to me, that made it all worth it for me right there. So sometimes you just got to face those challenges head on, and cool things happen. Sometimes cool things don't happen though either. But anyhow, yeah, so in the end, good trip after all. And I am gonna go ahead and pack up the tent and get moved out of this location, just because of the fact that we are getting quite a bit of wind here. And I'm not worried about the tent in any shape or form. It's kind of annoying when you're in a tent and the wind's beating on it. It's just not a very pleasant experience. So we'll find another spot. We'll go down and see if we can't find somewhere else to camp. But I'm gonna let you guys go. We'll pick you guys up in another video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video a little bit, even though it was random and all over the place. If you did, please give it a like. If you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. If you like the type of content I'm doing and you want to help support what I'm doing, check out the video in the upper right hand corner on ways to support, and I'll see you guys again outside.